This is Monday with the Mayor. I'm your host, Bill Potter, and I am at Huntingburg City Hall as we're talking with Mayor Denny Spinner. And Mayor, the 4th Street is like an iconic part of Huntingburg, Indiana.
Absolutely.
And you've just recently wrapped up some work on improving water lines, sewer lines, whatever along the street. But now there's another 4th Street project, and you held a meeting last week to kind of get everybody up and on the same page.
Right. As we approach the 4th Street Heritage Trail project, this is a project that was, of course, part of our stellar designation, which came in 2014, and now we're in 2019. So we're in the last year of our designee as a stellar community. And this project, as you might be aware, it was scheduled to be done last year, but because of the bidding process, the bids came in a little bit higher than we expected. It was not a fiscally responsible move to go ahead and award the project. We rebid the project, and in the fall of this year, we're able to award a contract to Milestone contractors to do the project, and now it's 2019, so we're beginning to the process has already started to have this project go forward. We had a meeting last Thursday evening here at City Hall, primarily for the stakeholders, those who are living and working on 4th Street, the business owners in that area, and really was our chance to really have the contractor meet with them for the first time, so they saw a face of who's going to be out on the street when this process begins. We introduced them to our team, the team that's working internally with their engineering team from VS Engineering, the design team from Taylor Siefker William, and our own staff here, primarily Rachel Steckler as our Director of Communications and Community Development, kind of who to contact. We talked about lines of communication, and Bill, that's probably the most important part of this project besides the work actually getting done. Is providing open lines of communication between those who are on site working and those whose businesses are most directly affected by this, because we realize this is quite a undertaking and quite a challenge for businesses to remain open and to continue to thrive during this time. This is the livelihood of many of people who are dedicated to 4th Street in Huntingburg, and by and large, we've had very, very strong support from the merchants in this project. But when it comes down to where the rubber kind of meets the road, where the project happens, there's going to be some times when it's going to be a strain. So we wanted to make sure that we were upfront and communicating with them in every way we could possibly can. Some of the highlights from that meeting last Thursday is if you go out on 4th Street right today, even as you drive down, you notice that between Main and Jackson on the east end, the street lights are down. So that's the street lights that have been part of downtown Huntingburg are being removed. They are being refurbished and will be put back into place. But before the construction to happen, they had to be removed. And there's some temporary lighting up now that will happen. So the first phase of the project will be at the east end of the block between Main and Jackson Street. You will also notice that this week, in fact, the contractor is required by a part of our agreement with Indiana Historical Society to videotape and document the existing conditions on the street before the project begins. Part of our agreement with Historical Society was we want it to be 4th Street Huntingburg when you stand and look at it when it's done, and to preserve those significantly historic structures that are there. That's part of this project. So we're going to document all that so that when we get to the end of the project, we can say, look, we still got this historic look and feel with a little bit different take on it from where we were before. So the contractor this week is going to be doing some videotaping. He's going to be going door to door, basically, to ask people to take some shots from inside and out so that they can make sure that we have everything in place. They're going to be putting in some vibration monitors in some of the locations along the street, because when that work happens, we don't want there to be some damages to the buildings so there'll be some monitors that will let us know if the vibration is too much and to slow the work down a little bit. So all those things are happening in preparation. So this east block is kind of phase one. It's probably the real construction won't happen until we're kind of in the weather season. A lot of work this next 6 weeks will be prep work, but probably into February, early March is when you'll actually see construction start happening. So that first phase is going to be probably from in February and May into 19 with the wet. Then as they complete that project, then they'll move to the west side, the Geiger to Main section and do that construction probably sometime in June, with completion guaranteed to be done no later than May of 2020. That we do also know that the Christmas stroll is during that season, and the contract allows for the fact that during the Christmas stroll, the street will be usable and will be something that will take place. One thing that we are very much aware of is that there will be pedestrian traffic maintained during the life of this project. When the time the street is under construction, there'll be times when we'll be working right in front of a store that may have to be shut down for a short period of time for that construction to allow it to happen. But the construction of the street, the construction of the trench drain in the middle will close down vehicular traffic in that block, but pedestrian traffic will always be maintained. And part of our effort, again, with the communication is there will be a communications campaign to make it very clearly known, and I'll listen to me right now, 4th Street is open. 4th Street is open now. It'll be open during construction, and it'll be open all during the period. There may be some inconveniences, but 4th Street is open. Please come down and make sure that you visit the businesses. Sometimes you may have to walk a little extra distance to get to them, but they will be open and ready for your coming into their stores and patronizing them. We're working to add some additional parking and some signage that directs people who may not know about Huntingburg all the time to tell you, well, you can't park here right now, but you can park over here. We've got great cooperations with the churches in our downtown. There's some rather large parking lots right in the near downtown in some of our churches, and we've had very good cooperation with them that they're allowing us to guide people to those locations to provide that extra parking they might need during the construction. And there will be a man on site from VS Engineering, a representative of our team will be on site every day. There will be someone here to monitor what's going on. We want the contractors to do the work that the contractor does and not answer the questions so they can do their work. But our representative from the design team will be on site, and we've given his name out to all the merchants. We've got an email list of everyone to communicate with them, and he'll be the point of contact on the street every day that will be able to answer questions. And we're going to utilize Current Blend again, and we're going to have regular office hours on a monthly basis where if you just want to come down and ask a question, there'll be some regular office hours for that. So it's an exciting. That's kind of like Christmas morning in a lot of ways. We really don't know what we're going to get. We're going to unwrap this great present. We're not quite sure what it is yet, but when it's done, we're going to be really happy. So I thank the merchants and the citizens, because this affects everybody. 4th Street's such a vital part of Huntingburg. It's going to affect everybody, but particularly the merchants downtown who are investing so much, and we're investing in them as well. We see this as a way to invest in our downtown in no other way. Over the last 2 years, somewhere around $8 million is being invested in the downtown between infrastructure and new structures, the Market Street Park. Everything that we're doing is a way to continue to see downtown Huntingburg as a destination, as a place where we want people to come and not only shop but visit and spend some time and bring their families. And it's just a significant time investment, a money investment. But I think everything we're doing is well worth it, and we're going to be very happy with it when we're done.
Is there some place the citizens can go to see what it's going to be like, what it will look like? Will that be displayed?
Yes, we're working on. If you go to our webpage right now, you'll see some links on the front page. Part of what will roll out in the next couple of months is there's some tabs right on that front page. There will be a tab that says 4th Street. So give us maybe about a couple of weeks to get that all put together. There'll also be updates on that page of all the information that's going on. But there'll be some conceptual designs that you'll see on that page that will show you what our goals are, where we're going with that project, and keep you up to date. So probably within the next 3 to 4 weeks into that February term when things really start happening, we'll have that website ready to go, and you can in one click find the latest on 4th Street.
Well, that's why Huntingburg is a city like no other with the work that's being done. But please just there's going to be a little inconvenience, as there is with any kind of improvement project.
Right, and the merchants, we've been talking to them for 3 years. There are many merchants that are planning some work in their own businesses during this time, when the traffic may be a little bit less, and maybe a time to improve some work inside their building that they haven't had a chance to do because they are open all the time. Many of them are looking at options for using rear entries maybe during this time. So just kind of, if you're a regular shopper in downtown Huntingburg, as you go into your merchants here in the next month and a half, you may ask them, well, so what's your plan during construction? And we'll be glad to tell you. So we're going to be open, or you might want to use our rear entrance. You might want to use this. There'll be ways that they're going to help to get you to their store and still be able to shop downtown Huntingburg and enjoy the experience.
Wonderful. Right. Mayor, thank you very much for talking with us.
Thank you, Bill.
Our guest has been Mayor Denny Spinner. We are at the City of Huntingburg, Monday with the Mayor.